Hey everyone, welcome back. It is time for another wrestling review. It's Tuesday. It's still New Japan, but it's New Japan. It's AEW, it's Ring of Honor, and it's Stardom. That's right. Today we are doing Wrestle Dynasty. With me once again, we have Campo.Reviews, the man who reviews movies, TV shows, everything else in between. I, of course, am Johnny Donuts. Make sure you go give this video a like. Make sure you give us a subscribe. We hit our goal of 350. We're at now 351, guys. We're getting there. 500 before the end of the year. Let's get her done. All right, with me, like I said, Campo.Reviews. You need reviews, go check him out. Link will be down in the description box, in the bottom, in the box. You know where it
In your
is.
bottom.
In my bottom. Ooh, sounds dirty. But today we are doing Wrestle Dynasty. Wrestle Dynasty is a huge cross promotion. This is basically New Japan's Forbidden Door in Japan instead of in the US.
And it's a weird name because AEW already has a pay-per-view called Dynasty.
Yes,
However, yes, it's a thing.
it is a thing. So let us go right into the first pre-show match. It is a Women's International Cup four-way match. Winner receives a championship match from the participating promotion of their choice. We have Momo Watanabe representing Stardom with Tekla, Willow Nightingale representing AEW, Persephone representing CMLL, and Athena representing ROH.
So I'm confused by this one aspect of this match.
Mhm.
Persephone wears a mask.
Yes, but in her
Okay,
video package, she doesn't wear a mask.
she doesn't wear a mask ever,
No.
but then she loses the mask in this match, and no one even talks about it. It just
Yeah.
all of a sudden she's not wearing it. And
Yep.
I'm wondering, was this supposed to be the storyline where they tell that she finally loses the mask, or is that just why does
No,
she have a
because I went
mask?
back and watched a couple CML just to
Yeah, she doesn't
familiarize
even wear a
myself.
mask.
No, she doesn't wear a mask in CMLL. I think this spot would have been better with
La Catalina,
the
obviously.
Catalina.
You don't have
Yeah.
to tell me that twice.
But the
Like, are
thing
you?
is, the Catalina has all the belts in CMLL. So what's she going to
Uh,
go after?
it's okay. This match was good, but it was too clusterfucky.
Yeah.
And it's the way that wins is like it made it be like, yeah, obviously New Japan's gonna give it the shot to their own fucking person.
Yeah.
Do you know
I
what I
think,
mean?
but the thing is, Momo represents Stardom, and
Which is
she's also a member of Hate. And as you go back to our review last week or 2 weeks ago, Hate is your the what's her she's champion there.
yeah. And so I don't know if you know this, if you knew know this. Um, Thekla's doing a lot of the booking.
Oh, in New Japan. Or sorry, for Stardom.
And she's getting a lot of her ideas because I don't know if you knew this,
She's
she's
dating Clark
dating
Connors.
Clark Connors.
Yeah.
So that's why they're so similar to the War Dogs.
Yes.
That's why they have that like they're crossover with each other. They help each other.
Yeah.
So
They're like the female version of the War Dogs.
yeah. So it's like I don't know what the whole storyline's gonna be, but I caught on to all of this recently and I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
that's
know I noticed her and Clark Connors have been a thing for a while now.
yeah. Which that's good. Good for
Hey,
them.
happy on them.
Which by the way, we always thought that she was Greek. She's not Greek.
No, she's Austrian.
Yeah, she's Austrian.
Yeah.
Maybe we already figured this out and I'm just refiguring this out.
The name Tekla sounds like a Greek name. Maybe that's why, but yeah, she's
No, I
Austrian.
think I think there was a period
She's
when
from the
she
same
was
place my
Julia.
sister-in-law's from.
There you go. Oh, I think there was a period where she was with Julia that
Hmm.
they were presenting her as like a Greek
Yes, the
character.
toxic spider. Yeah.
Yeah, but like they would say she's from Greece or something like
Yeah.
that, and like now it's like no, she's billed from
Austria.
Austria.
Yeah. But Watanabe does win. I don't think Watanabe's going after the goddess of stardom. I think she's going after Mayu.
Yeah, probably. I would assume that's what it would
And
be.
this way they give Hate all the belts.
But like, is this who we want? Do we want Momo Watanabe as the
No, I would have rather
IWGP?
had Azumi. Unless you get Azumi facing Momo after and
I
Azumi
think this
wins.
this is the belt. This is a specific belt, like a Tam Nakano belt,
Hmm.
where you attach it a Shuri belt. This belt gets attached to your big, massive superstar name. You don't
Hmm.
give this to like the up and coming or like you know how you randomly someone will win that you're not expecting. That's not
Yeah.
for the IWGP belt. The
No.
IWGP belt goes to your biggest name.
Yeah. Your artist of stardom, the second belt there. That's the
Or
one
even the
that.
main stardom belt, but
Yeah.
not the IWGP. The IWGP, you have to have a big name because
You have to have a pedigree behind it.
if you're attaching these people to a New Japan pay per view, do you want to watch? like random girl number one versus random girl number two, or do you want to watch Mayu versus Tam? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, of course, that's what we want.
yeah. Unless Mina's going after this belt with
Fine, I'll take it.
because Mina's signed to Stardom, right? She has like a Takeshita type of contract.
Yeah,
She's like Stardom and AEW. She has like a two-way.
no, she's not AEW at all. AEW is just using her.
Oh, okay.
Like, probably, they're paying her probably, right? But
Yeah. And they're probably kicking a little back to Stardom.
I think Stardom's just trying to take a wrestler out that doesn't affect their roster that much,
Yeah.
but also using the American notoriety to garner fame for her. So when
Yeah.
she does win, Americans might watch
Stardom
Stardom
or yeah, or New Japan or something. Yeah,
because you
makes
don't want to
sense.
remove Mayu Iwatani because then you're losing people showing up to your shows.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that people like her, but
Yeah. But Momo wins, and like I said, I think she's going after the IWGP belt.
yeah, fair enough.
Okay. With that, Sons of Texas defending the ROH World Tag Team Championship against House of Torture, Sho and Kanemaru.
A pretty good match.
Better than I expected,
I do think they should have let House of Torture win though to create
even
some
just
kind of
for
storyline. Because all it ended up becoming was just a sideshow match where it's like no one's gonna care tomorrow,
yeah,
and neither one of them are gonna feud again.
yeah. It's never gonna, yeah. But I mean, this
And
was
Dustin
fine.
resigned, by the way, in
Yes,
AEW.
Dustin did resign. He put all his things back in his Twitter and Instagram bio. So no Hall of
I
Fame for
think that was a
Dustin.
threat. I think he did that to scare Tony Khan into being like, okay, we'll give you the money.
At least, yeah, they gave him what, a 1 year?
I think it's a 1 or a 2 year.
Yeah,
Either way,
he's
I don't
back.
mind them as the champions. It gives
No,
Sammy Guevara something to do.
yeah,
It's a cool name, Sons of
yeah,
Texas.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And his wife had a match in Stardom.
She did.
Yeah.
She sucks.
Yes, she's not very good. But Sons of Texas do retain. Moving on, we got our eight-man Lucha Gauntlet match. We have El Desperado, Titan, Mascarada Dorada, Master Wato, Soberano Jr., Koze Fujita, Hechicero, and Taiji Ishimori.
A good match
Mm-hmm.
overall, but once again, like the women's match, very
Clustery.
clustery.
Yeah.
And it's hard to.
When you
By
have
the way,
too
I just
many,
want to point.
when you
Oh,
have
tell
too
me.
many good junior heavyweights in this match, it takes away from all their talents. With juniors, you got to have like a three-way or a four-way max.
There's something that New Japan does recently that I've noticed, and like filming quality,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone beats Noah.
No,
Okay.
Noah has the
But
best production
I've noticed the actual production and editing and angles that they
and
use.
camera
There's
cuts.
no one is better than New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
They film things like I noticed it in the last pay-per-view. I forgot to mention it, but like in here, when you're watching like the
Mm-hmm.
lucha wrestlers and how they do these like high fly spinny type of things, they angle the camera always opposite of what WWE or AEW would do. Instead of catching them doing it, they catch them on an off angle where it looks
Mm-hmm.
very realistic that the
Yeah.
move is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of you catching like AEW, you catch the botches because you're focused so much on the front. If you just pan the camera, you get a really good angle and it looks like it
And it looks
hurts.
fantastic. Yeah.
And I've never noticed this before, but between
Yeah,
these
you're
two
right.
pay-per-views, I was like,
I
what
gotta
the
pay closer attention to that next
Oh,
time I
it is
watch.
crazy. Some
Yeah.
of the stuff that they caught angles on, and I was like, bro, he just killed that guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, especially in the Kenny match, you notice it.
Yes,
And
I
it's
did
like,
notice it in the
it's
Kenny match.
perfect angles. They're facing them head on, then it cuts to like the back camera. And the
Yeah.
cut is so perfect. And
That
like
it
I
looks
have
like
to
one fluid motion.
yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
like they're always in the right spot. They're I've never seen anything like that. It's insane. It's little
So,
details.
and in the end, Taiji Ishimori pins El Desperado. So this sets up your match for Battle in the Valley.
Yeah, and this match was actually quite good. Like
Yeah, it was
there was a
entertaining.
lot going on.
Yeah. Not as good as the multi-person match from yesterday on Wrestle
No,
Kingdom. Not even close, but still pretty good.
no, a lot of people.
Yeah. So with that, we have a grappling rules exhibition match, which was there very little grappling in this match. Hiroshi Tanahashi against Katsuyori Shibata.
I didn't really like it.
No, like
I
half.
why would I want
It
to
was
watch a
it.
grappling match?
So, but not only that, it was 5 minutes, like a 5 minute time limit, and 3 of those 5 minutes were just them slapping each other in the chest.
Yeah, and it's like a Shibata. I want to watch Shibata go.
I want to watch him actually
Give me
wrestle.
Shibata versus Shooter or something. I don't want to
Shibata
watch.
versus Zack.
Give me whatever you want. Okay. Shibata versus Zach versus Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson in a three-way.
Shibata versus Konosuke.
Yes. Okay. Have a good night. Just end this. That's it. We
Yeah,
don't need to
that's it.
talk anymore. Yeah, this match was pretty poop
Yeah, worst match of the night, and it
for
goes for
sure.
five
Worst
minutes.
match
Yeah,
of the weekend.
I think so. So with that, Mercedes Moné defending the Strong Women's Championship against Mina Shirakawa, who's defending the British Women's Championship. But it's all the belts on the line in this match.
It's all 4 belts.
Yes, because what's the other one Mina Shirakawa has?
It's the Queen of Southside. So basically,
Okay.
that's just one belt. It's just an undisputed belt. So like those
Yeah.
2 belts have been combined into one belt.
Okay.
He's just carrying 2 belts.
That's why she's the British champion.
Yeah, that it's like when Roman Reigns had both belts.
It's just one belt, but
Yeah.
he liked to carry all three just because he felt like it.
I mean, at the end of this match, when unfortunately Sasha Banks wins,
Hmm.
she looked
Don't
pretty
get us
upset
wrong.
that she had to
Unfortunately, she
carry four
wins, but
belts.
this was still a good match.
It was good, but it was not nearly as good as the last one.
Monet
I
match, yeah.
think
She's
Mina
back with doing that.
Mina struggles to
Sorry for that, guys.
Mina struggles to work with big wrestlers.
Yes. In
It's like
multi-person, she's great.
yeah, and I think even when she fights like lower tier wrestlers where she can carry the match, when she has to fight someone better than her, or not better than her, bigger than her, it seems like she doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And she's trying to cater to the way they want to have the match, and it just doesn't turn out well.
No,
And like
because we know Monet can wrestle that
we
Japanese
watched
style
both
now.
of them have good matches at the last New Japan pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And it was like watching this, I was like, okay, it was not bad. It's
No.
just like I expected it to be like a banger,
Yeah.
and it was not a banger.
Because
It was
Monet's
just
been,
fine.
I guess, sorry for the pun, but Monet's been money.
Like recently, yeah.
Yeah.
Not so much here, but still, she
Yeah.
seemed pretty upset that she had to carry 4 belts. She was
Yes.
like, "Fuck, I got to carry all these belts."
Yeah. Maybe that Southside Championship they'll phase out, so she only has to carry three.
They're gonna belt collector her, and she's gonna win one more. She's gonna
Yeah.
win something else. I don't know if it will be a Stardom belt, so that she kind of crosses over all the companies.
Or the IWGP.
No, I don't think it will be IWGP.
No.
Maybe the Ring of Honor television belt or something, or a CMLL
Or she beats
belt.
Athena.
A CMLL belt, like the lower tier women's
Okay.
belt.
Because you don't want to take the belt off of Athena right now. Athena's too good.
Yeah, Athena's hot.
So with that, so David Finlay should have been for the global heavyweight, but Yota Tsuji won that belt. We are getting David Finlay versus Brody King.
Actually, a really good match. I
Better
didn't
than I
want to watch it
expected.
even.
Yeah.
I was debating on just skipping it because like
I thought this was been the bathroom match for me.
is this mean I just don't want to watch Brody King?
No.
It's like the same type of they try to tell the same type of storyline in every match. Oh, he's the
Mhm.
big guy and he's gonna throw Darby Allin
Overcome.
around.
Yeah.
He's gonna toss Darby Allin around. But yeah, it was pretty good.
It was pretty
match.
good. And Finlay
No,
put on a
the-
good show too. They kind of babyfaced
Cannonball?
Finlay.
The
Mhm.
cannonball or whatever it was, a crossbody into
Yeah.
the barricade on the chair with David
Yeah.
Finlay. He smokes his head off the
Yes, off the barricade. Yes. Yes. But they kind of, like I said, they kind of babyfaced Finlay a little bit in this match.
They kind of baby faced Brody King. So, anyways, if you haven't seen AEW,
Mm-hmm. They're baby
There-
faces now.
there's a clear push to make Julia, Brody King, and
Buddy Murphy or whatever his name is.
yeah, Buddy Holly,
Matthews,
fucking-
yeah.
baby faces.
Every day it's
Exactly.
getting closer.
Just like Buddy Holly. Anyways, I can't sing. Shout out to Weezer. Baby faces because they
Mhm.
need them. They need them fans to have their back because Malachi Black is gone. So
You think he's gone? I thought he's still signed.
no, they're saying that he's done. He's done. Even if he's signed, he's not coming back. So they're trying to make it the crowd get behind them. So they
Oh,
still
he's gonna have that silent pop like Andrade had last year at the Rumble.
yeah, exactly.
Because Andrade comes out and everybody's like, "Who's this guy?"
This is the funny part. There's not everybody, because that's not true. There's a large portion of people that are like clamoring to get him back in WWE, but
I
like
think he
he
will
wasn't
because his
even
wife is
popular. He
no, but
wasn't
he
even popular
I
when he
think he
was
just wants to
there.
go because his wife's there and
And
just
that's
like
fine. Let him. I'm not upset. I like Malachi Black. I think I
yeah.
enjoyed his matches, but it's like the the thought process that people are so desperate to get him back in WWE when really nobody even cared about him the first time.
No.
He's not going to win any major titles right
No.
away.
But I
It's
mean
Malachi Black. He
Malachi
doesn't
Black,
compare with
he could, you know
Gunther.
what? He could have a really great feud with the likes of Shinsuke, have a really great feud against, say, Braun Breaker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could put him in that mid
I
card,
think WWE is missing strikers, and he
or,
brings something to that.
or Malachi Black returns, steals Zelina Vega because that's his legit wife from the LWO, kicks Finn Balor out, and rejoins with Damian Priest to make a new Judgment Day.
I think they just make a new faction and beat the shit out of everyone in Judgment Day, and that becomes the feud. Because like
Okay.
I don't, I was talking about this recently. I don't. I know we're way off topic, but I don't understand how they're continuing to run a faction where the biggest name attached to it is Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. And why is Dominic Mysterio still so relevant when he can't talk, he's not a good character, and he can't
No.
wrestle?
But
It's
now
so
that
nepo. It's crazy.
that faction is dead now because spoilers for Netflix on Raw on Netflix, Rhea Ripley beats her. She's the new champ.
Yeah, and
So
also
I think Liv Morgan is back into that spiraling vortex of mid card.
you've defaced the value of Finn Balor so badly, and JD McDonough was already irrelevant, and now he's even more irrelevant.
Yeah.
Not that we liked him coming out of
Yeah.
NXT, but like
Because we those matches he had with Gunther,
they
those
don't know what
matches
to
he had with
do.
Dragunov, they were
Listen,
fantastic.
call it what you want. Do I think the booking has been better in WWE and the match
Yes,
quality has been better? Yes, but
absolutely.
Triple H is slowly phasing back into what Vince was doing,
Hmm.
ignoring the up and coming wrestlers, putting it all on old guys, and like
Or his
having
favorites.
really not poorly written storylines, but between two people where we don't need that storyline. I don't
No.
need Kevin Owens to be the hot topic of everything that's happening all the time. Like
Yeah,
Kevin
because
Owens.
he's your real champion.
Do I like Kevin Owens as a wrestler?
Absolutely.
Yes. He should not be at the top of the card ever in
And
any
Russell
company.
Talk, this is a shout out to you guys. I don't want to call it a shout out, but he is not going to AEW. He signed a 3-year contract. He's not going anywhere. So stop
He
saying any.
really, this guy, listen, he pretends to like you. He hates Russell Talk.
I
Okay.
do. Absolutely, I do. But that's all I
Hi,
get on my
everybody.
Google
It's
feed.
me with Wrestle Talk.
I'm Ole Davis.
He sounds like he's eating the microphone when
Yeah.
he's talking.
No, whatever. Let's not give him any
Anyways,
more publicity.
shout out to Cultaholic, the real wrestling
Yes, the real
channel.
wrestling channel. Finley does win though, surprisingly. Back to the match at hand.
Yeah, David Finley.
Yes. So with that, Shota Umino against Claudio Castagnoli.
Way better, I think, than the
Hmm.
last night's match.
Their styles matched a little bit more.
It
Shooter is
was
not a technical wrestler. Shooter is not a mat wrestler. He's a brawler.
Shooter's gonna tell you a John Moxley story, and
Yeah.
having him against a bigger wrestler, a big foe that's he has to overcome, is how you tell that story.
Yeah.
Whoa, did we just figure that out? It's like a
Like
tale as old as time.
it's only been like what, 2 years since Shooter's come back?
It's pretty solid match. Like
Yeah, it
I'm not a
was.
big Claudio guy. I know you are. I think your
Yeah.
brother is as well.
Yeah.
But like you can't
Shout out
deny
to
that the
Caps,
guy.
who's a big Claudio guy.
Yeah, Caps is a big Claudio guy. He could put on a match.
Yeah. He's serviceable. He's great as your mid card top tier fodder.
Yeah, I really liked him as the Ring of Honor champion when he was a face.
Yeah. But what's it called? Shota Umino gets his win back. He wins in a decent match. So with that, Konosuke Takeshita defending both belts, the Never Openweight Championship and the AEW International Championship against Tomohiro Ishii. This guy
This
can still go.
okay, so in the last match it happens a little bit, but in this match there's a lot of seeds planted for what's about to happen on commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Like if anyone doesn't know, Chris Charlton gets suspended for 2
Suspended.
months.
Well, when we get into the match, We'll talk about what happens because it happened during the Kenny match.
But
All the comments
it starts a
here.
little bit in the last match where he
Yeah.
starts getting like frustrated that they're like talking about AEW wrestlers. And
Yeah.
then
Like,
in
why
this
is this
match,
guy your champion?
in this match it really starts to come out and you're like
Mhm.
it's confusing because even in the last pay-per-view, Chris Charlton like went out on his own and
Yeah.
started trying to be the heel commentator and it didn't make any sense why he
No,
was doing that. You're kind
he
of
is
like
your facts guy. He's not a heel commentator. He's your facts guy. The Walker Stewart, and let's say shout out to Walker Stewart because he's improved.
big time.
He's improved a lot. And
I still want Kevin Kelly back.
yes, but Walker Stewart is really good when it comes to color and play by play. You got Chris Charlton there to be your facts guy. This guy is seven-time champ. This guy did this, back in WWE,
Yeah.
did this, and like he's your
He's more
facts.
your color. He's more your
Yeah,
color and
Walker's your
Walker's
play-by-play.
your play-by-play.
Yeah, and this
But
this combination has been really good the last few months.
but like for no reason at all at Wrestle Kingdom, he decided that he was gonna try to be a heel, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay. And then when you get here, I guess if you've already watched it, you're kind of like prepared for it, but it
Hmm.
deteriorates throughout the night to a
It
point where
even
you're like,
shows up a
is
little
he
bit
drunk?
it even shows up a little bit in the Young Bucks match.
It does a lot. That's where
Yeah.
like really that's where it starts to okay, now we're doing
Yeah.
this. Because I think Kenny's match is after Young Bucks, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's Young Bucks, then it's the Suji match.
Okay, and then what? Kenny?
And then Kenny. Yeah.
Yeah, so in the Young Bucks it really kicks off, but they
Yeah.
sprinkle seeds in the last one,
Yeah.
and then here it's like it starts to get real bad to the point where when we get there, we'll get there. But when the Bucks match starts, they send Rocky Romero
Romero.
out
Yeah.
to sit
To
at
kind of
commentary to control him.
yeah.
And he doesn't realize that's why Rocky's there at first. And it
And
starts to kick in
shout out
towards
to
the end.
Rocky because Rocky did such a good job diffusing everything.
And Rocky tries to play heel heavy duty. That's why I think they're turning Rocky heel
Yeah.
in order to like de-escalate what Chris Charlton's sounding like to
Yeah.
like
And
compensate for it. And it doesn't
because
work.
Chris
They
is
start going
exactly.
at it.
And I think because of the suspension, I think you're going to get the pairing of Stewart and Romero for the next little while.
I think you will, but like you could see it, right? Like
We'll
Rocky
find out
tries
tonight
to go,
when we watch
yeah,
Battle in the Valley. I just
Rocky
hope we
goes a
don't
bit
get. I
greasy.
just hope we don't get Veda Scott.
We will.
Veda Scott and Ian Riccofoni.
Veda Scott is the worst announcer of all the major company usage.
Hmm.
I'll say it.
But let's talk about
Worse
this
than
match.
Booker T.
Yes. Oh my God. We'll talk about Booker T.
By the way, I'm okay with that three-way commentary that we get on NXT.
Yes,
That was pretty good.
But Booker T was still pretty pervy.
When he kept saying Corey, I was like, why
Yeah.
is he calling the other guy Corey? I'm like, what the hell's happening? And then I finally heard his voice, and I'm like, oh,
It's
he's
like,
here.
Corey Graves is here. But we'll
Like,
talk
I don't know
about
how I
that
missed it.
tomorrow.
Anyways, sorry.
Let's talk about this match though. Ishii, this last year and a half, he's been on a tear.
He's doing his I'm at the end of the ropes. I'm going to give you the best match.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put everybody I face over.
He wants to be remembered for his match quality.
Yeah.
They mention it even.
Because
He's
I
never
noticed
been a belt chaser.
Ishii has slimmed down a bit. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
He's not as like hefty as he used to be.
No, he's definitely not as ripped.
Yeah.
He's kind of like floppy now. He's getting into that Tanahashi belly.
Yeah. And shout out to Tanahashi. He changed his pants. Thank God.
Yeah.
No more Tanahashi ass crack.
Shibata was probably like, what the hell's wrong with you? You look like an idiot.
With that little gilet he used to wear. But Takeshita does win this match, as it should be. And this is where they announced the fact that Takeshita now has a three-way contract between DDT, AEW, and New Japan. And this is where you can see Chris Charlton getting a little bit upset.
It's a lot of this match. It happens too because they keep saying he might be the best Japanese wrestler working, and then he's like, he gets
what about what about so and so? What about Umino?
He starts yelling about Okada and like
Yeah.
Okada being misused in New Japan, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, in AEW,
and
he's not wrong.
No, he is
wrong about anything he said about Will Ospreay or Okada. They're overexposed right now. They've done a better job at keeping Okada under wraps.
Yeah.
In terms of like not having him wrestle constantly.
Because I think
Okada's
contract doesn't like, you know what I mean? Like he only
has
like
a lazy boy contract.
It's like a Brock Lesnar contract. He only has a few matches a year kind of thing.
And but they did turn him into a meme, but I kind of like the meme.
bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Young Bucks versus United Empire, reuniting Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb.
And I was so happy to see that, but then when they were coming out, they looked like they both didn't give a shit what was happening.
No, I think because they knew the outcome of this match.
And
But
and
we
I'm gonna
also
be
get a surprise third entrant.
tell me.
We get Tetsuya Naito
Mhm.
and Hiromu Takahashi finally doing something with your World Tag League champions.
So here's what I noticed from this match. The Young Bucks give it 100% in this
Hmm.
match. Takahashi gives it 120% in this match. The other three do not try in the slightest.
No, because they knew they were going to lose.
Was the match bad? No, but it's
No.
like it's this weird lackadaisical, like we're just kind of
Yeah, and this is
watching
where
Takahashi and Jeff Cobb when they were together in the ring. I was like, why is Jeff Cobb even here? He's not
yeah.
even doing anything.
This is where I think they made the mistake. Why did you give the Bucks the belt here?
I actually like the decision
Okay.
in because now we can push the Bucks out of AEW for a bit and not have to clog up that scene. And maybe you get FTR versus the Bucks for the New Japan belts, or you get
Well,
Naito.
FTR's embroiled in
I'm
the
just saying somewhere down the
but
road,
you know
right?
what? Naito Takahashi, I'll take that one.
Yeah, Naito Takahashi win the belts,
Hmm.
something like that,
Just a
right?
little tip of the hat because Naito, I don't think will retire at 20, but I think Naito will retire at Wrestle Kingdom 21. That's
Uh,
my theory. Salute. Um, that's my theory because I think Naito he's pretty much reaching the end of his career. You could see it. Like some of the matches, he just doesn't care. Right? So
I don't know. I think they need to put him into who's recently just went into I'm not going to wrestle that often. Someone from AEW didn't they like
oh,
semi-retire where now they're going to wrestle only like infrequently?
Danielson?
Yeah, Danielson. There you go. And I think
Yeah.
that's what they should do with Naito. Just have him only trot him out for like events or like
Yeah.
a big storyline. He
I
doesn't need to
think
wrestle so
I think
often.
that's the Wrestle Kingdom 20 match is Naito versus Tanahashi.
I think probably too, or Okada.
Yeah. Which is odd because Okada was not on the show. They didn't even like
Yeah, and they
other than Charlton, they didn't mention Okada,
yeah, I thought that was weird. I won't lie.
right? I would have been happier say United Empire win the belts, give him another run. Jeff Cobb's earned it, I think.
Yeah, I really wanted that.
Yeah. And Great
I
O'Khan really never lost the belt. He had to give it up.
that is a reunion that I was very much looking forward to because I was
Hmm.
like the tag division's so weak. Whatever happened to Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan? Like no
Yeah.
disrespect to Hanari, but put Hanari with like Callum Newman,
Yeah. Have him as the up and coming team.
like something like
Yeah.
that, right? Or put him with one of those British guys that you just got
Yeah.
in United Empire. Like I
I don't
don't
know.
know.
Let's not take away from the match. The Bucks gave it all, and like you said, Takahashi gave it all, but the other guys just didn't really. Not like Cobb yesterday in that four-way match. Cobb in that four-way match was fantastic.
I think some of these wrestlers in not all the way because I think WWE scheduling is way worse, but I
Hmm.
think some of them are starting to get like frustrated with the fact that they have to wrestle back-to-back nights in huge matches.
Yeah.
Like you had me in a title match and then now you have me in I lost the
Another.
belt. It wasn't Jeff Cobb the champion? No,
No,
right?
Narita was champ.
Narita was champion. Jeff Cobb in a huge title match loses, and then in another huge title match having to
Loses.
lose.
You devalue your employees that way,
And it's
I
also like
think.
a hard working weekend.
Yeah.
And then you had New Year's Dash.
The next day, yeah. And now Battle in the Valley a week later in
Yeah,
the US. But anyway, with that, like I said, Young Bucks are your champions. We are going into our next match
they
for
were
the
really good in this match, though.
yeah.
The Young
I'm
Bucks
just
were
I'll
putting
be
a
honest,
thousand
I'm a little
percent,
tired of the Young Bucks right now.
and that's fair. I can agree with that. That's why I'm happy at my week to week watching of TV. They're not going to be on AEW anymore
Yeah.
for a bit.
Unless they're bringing the belts back to the US.
I don't know. I think they want to do a Japan thing. I think in their heads they know they're close to being on their way out.
Okay.
Like Matt is like 40 years old,
Yeah.
or which one's the younger one? One of them is like 40 and one of them's 35. It's something like that.
Timmy's on it. So Matt is 39 and Nick is 35.
Yeah. So like they're not going to be here forever, especially the way they
Yeah.
wrestle. So I think they know they want to get their like run in Japan, like one more run, like because Japan means a lot to them.
Yeah, I think they'll get that one more run in the Japan contract expires and do like a quick 1 year deal with WWE just to get some of those sexy matches like Bucks
Yeah.
versus the Usos.
If you don't get Shelton Benjamin in the next G1 tournament, I'm not watching the G1 tournament.
Yeah, that's true. Yota Tsuji versus Jack Perry for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. This was good.
Really good. They're Jack Perry. Okay, I don't want to say this comparison and get shit on, okay? But just
Hmm.
listen, hear me out. Jack Perry is on the path,
To
like
superstardom.
he's in the similar spot to at that age that he is to where Kenny was at that age. And
Yeah,
I see so much Kenny in him. He's because he was absolutely willing to do whatever it takes to make this
yeah.
match good.
Those table spots. Holy shit, those table spots were hard.
And his like top rope ability, his high
Hmm.
flyer ability is pretty good. And
Yeah,
he's surprisingly got very good on the ground.
yeah.
Like
This
he
one
has a
year
lot of
he spent
submissions.
away from AEW, he's really improved.
And he's built now relationships and storylines where he's part of House of Torture still. They talk
Yeah.
about it. Maybe House of
Yes.
Torture is going to come out and help him.
Yeah. More shenanigans.
Weirdly enough, Chris
No
Charlton
shenanigans.
didn't talk much shit in this match and no
No.
shenanigans.
No shenanigans. No. But yeah, Chris Charlton did talk a lot about Yota Tsuji, how he's going to be one of the future stars of New Japan.
And I think so because he's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
My issue with Yota Tsuji is he falls into that category of like a Cody Rhodes where every match is almost the same match. Like
It's
he
for
doesn't.
me, I see the comparisons just not just the way he wrestles, but the way he looks too as a Roman Reigns type of character.
I mean, he reminds me a lot more of Edge than anyone.
Yeah,
But
that's true too.
yes,
Yeah.
I agree with you
Yeah.
100%. Carmen
And,
San Diego,
and go, yes. We
Yota
did that in the
Tsuji.
last episode. But Yota Tsuji does retain, as we thought would happen. This I kind of expected not a lot of belt changes on this show. This is more of a super like so Wrestle Dynasty and Wrestle Dream are pretty much the same, and Forbidden Door have all become pretty much the same. When it was Forbidden Door, it felt kind of special, but now we get 3, 4 of these shows a year. It doesn't feel as
Yeah,
special
and you
anymore.
have Fantastic Mania
Yeah,
in
in
CMLL where they
CMLL.
all show up there too. So
Yeah. But with that, let us go to the match we were all anticipating: Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd in a non-title match.
okay, if you would
This
be
is where
absolutely
Chris Charlton went off script completely.
well, that's because there was a very stupid comment made, like by Ian
Walker?
Fake Riccofoni about how Kenny Omega is Japanese wrestling. He embodies. He's the reason that New Japan.
No,
Like,
that is
no,
not. No.
let's chill the fuck out, buddy. Bullet Club is the reason that New Japan didn't fucking flop.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
Tanahashi.
if it weren't for Bullet Club, Tanahashi, Nakamura, they would have been dead in the early 2010s.
It was not Kenny Omega at
No.
all. And that was a
Kenny
silly
Omega
comment
was
to make.
right. Kenny Omega just rode that wave and just continued that
Right?
popularity.
Because you could argue that Okada was just as important as Kenny in that feud, right? Obviously.
Tell me Finn Balor didn't embody Japanese wrestling at the
Yeah,
time. Tell
that
me AJ Styles didn't embody.
but that's my point, right? Like, okay, is Kenny the greatest wrestler of all time? Yeah, probably. But don't make stupid comments like he
Yeah.
saved Japanese wrestling. Like, no, man, come on. And
And
he
that's
went
when
off the deep end.
and then Chris Charlton that set him off. He goes, "Oh, then what about the names like Okada and Will Ospreay who were poached from like he literally said when you get a money mark,
Yeah.
which clearly he was referring to Tony Khan being a money mark for these guys, and it's
But at
I
this
mean,
point, you've now, like I said, you've kind of you're seeing his trajectory of what's
mhm,
going on. It's still like, you hear it and you're like, what the fuck is he talking about?
yeah,
But he's been so heelish all night that you're kind of just like used to it by now. But then he says some random shit. Like
yeah.
his entire goal for this entire match is to talk shit about
About
Kenny Omega.
And
He's the
AEW,
sweetest, fucking nicest guy who loves everything about Japanese wrestling as much as you do, because I
who
know you're
loves
passionate
Japanese
about it.
culture, when he got the composer of Final Fantasy 13 to like,
And I get it. It's like Chris Charlton loves those things too, but so does Kenny. Kenny's not there saying that he's that guy.
yeah.
Fucking Fatty Magoo's saying it. Okay. So let's not like get mad at Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega's so humble when he does the interviews at the end. He's like, "Thank you so much. You know, this wouldn't be possible without everybody in the crowd." Like, he is so humble about it.
Yeah, because that's who he is. And it
Yeah.
was really weird that that's where it got me. I was like, what did he
Yeah.
do? Like, anyways,
And he's yeah, and there
this
and he
match,
talks about poaching talent and money mark and like, oh,
contrary to popular belief of what we saw, this is the best match of the weekend.
yes.
This
And Gabe
is
Kidd, my God, this guy has got such a bright future.
yeah, he was really good, man. But like to see
Kenny back.
broken Kenny
Hmm.
do what he's doing, nah, come on.
His
I was like,
selling, yeah, his
buddy, the
selling was
table
tough.
spot, the
Hmm.
fucking table spot when he throws Gabe Kidd through the table, buddy. Gabe Kidd
Head
hit the floor
first.
so hard.
Yeah,
So hard. They had to sell that like a maniac because they didn't know
yeah.
if he was going to be able to continue the match. So Kenny's lying on the floor,
But
grabbing his hip, yelling for like the young boys to get him
but
ice.
props to Kid. Took it like a champ, man.
No,
Took it.
yeah, because this was
Yeah,
his moment. We were talking about this during the match.
yeah.
Because well, after we watched Wrestle Kingdom, we only watched just this match, and then I went back and watched this whole pay-per-view.
Okay.
But like Gabe Kidd is in this match, okay,
Hmm.
and obviously he's a character. His real life, he's a wrestler. He loves
Yeah.
wrestling. He's
He's a shoot fighter, is what
if
he
you
is.
watch how this match went, it was literally play by play. A guy being like, "You call the shots. I'll do whatever you want. You want me to go through
Yeah.
the table? I'll go through 5 tables. You want me to do it? Pile
Yeah,
them up."
I'm getting to fight Kenny Omega. You know
Yeah,
what I
it
mean?
was.
Like,
That's like how it felt. And Chris Charlton's announcing kind of throws you off, but you could see
yeah.
like the
Oh,
happy look.
and then he's like, "Is Gabe Kidd gonna leave too, and then just go get poached by AEW?" Like,
Gabe Kidd at one point gets thrown into the barricade and he runs so hard into it. I was like, that's a guy who knows what's at stake here. I'm
yeah,
fighting Kenny Omega. This is once in a lifetime. I'm whatever Kenny wants, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
make it.
do.
I'm gonna do it better. He wants me to
Yeah,
do this. I'm gonna do it 3 times. I'm gonna do a triple backflip. You know what I mean?
without overselling.
No, and because it felt realistic.
Yeah.
You don't want to go into a Kenny match and upset him or do something
Do
wrong.
you think we can put this into a contendership for match of the year?
1,000%, as well as
Yeah,
the Takeshita match, 1,000%.
the Shingo
Yeah.
Takeshita. Yeah, that's already been marked down. But yeah, this was like, I mean, and in the end, Kenny does win.
I thought it was kind of weird that he won,
Which
but I
I
feel
don't
like it's to
care
further
because
the story.
it did so much for Gabe Kidd. So whereas now Kenny Omega has a win over Gabe Kidd, are we gonna get maybe another match him and Gabe Kidd
I think it's
for the actual?
possible. I
Like,
think
I'd
it's
love to
possible.
see another match between these two. But
Gabe
then
Kidd has
again,
a good match for the belt this weekend.
yeah, does he? Who's he facing this weekend?
I can't remember who the hell he faces.
Oh, Ishii,
Oh yeah, Ishii. Yeah,
which is
it'll
another
be.
put over. It's another put over for Kidd.
This is his like. Okay, you lost to Kenny, you're gonna win this. But then when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? In what world, if you're trying to be realistic about wrestling, does Gabe Kidd beat Kenny Omega? He doesn't. So
No,
that was the right call,
yeah, but
right?
because it was a non-title match,
Yeah.
so it works. But yeah, fantastic. And right after that, you could tell Rocky Romero and Walker Stewart, every time Chris would talk, they just kind of shot him down. Even Walker said, "Okay, Chris, you need to calm down." Like, right live on air, he said, "Chris, you need to calm down."
Yeah, because they're probably telling them in the headphones, "You're gonna walk all of you idiots out after this."
Yeah. And
You
they,
have Rocky's like a vice president esque level
yeah,
guy in New Japan who was
yeah,
sent out to watch you.
yeah. Like, when one of your quote unquote bosses comes out to sit next to you on commentary, that would be the equivalent of Triple H coming out and, like, what's his name? Say Booker T's going off the deep end. That's exactly what they did. They put Corey Graves, who's probably one of the leaders of the commentary team, next to Booker T. So this way Booker T doesn't.
It was also a way to like to stop having Booker T talk so much, period. Because now there's
Yeah,
somebody else to talk.
yeah. But Kenny Omega does win. I hope we get a rematch, and I hope the rematch is just as good.
Yeah, me too.
Um, Zack Sabre Jr. defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against Ricochet.
Nah, it was fine.
Again,
Nah, I ain't
not
got much.
yeah.
It was fine.
Again, you have such a high. You come off such a high to go to Zack Sabre Jr. If you ask me, the
It
Kenny's return should have been the main event. They should have
his
swapped
yeah,
it.
but you can't because it's a title match. Imagine how mad Chris Charlton would have been if that's what happened. Um, it's his Zack Sabre Jr.'s style doesn't lend itself to main event status.
Yeah,
He needs to wrestle other wrestlers that do the same type of wrestling as him.
yeah,
This match worked better than Shota because Ricochet is very talented and
yeah.
experienced and knows how to put on a
And he's
very
faced Zack before.
yeah, and he knows how to put on a very exciting, like
Yeah. I will
exuberant,
say
like
this though.
massive
This
type
is
of
the
event.
best Ricochet match since leaving WWE.
No, I think he's had a couple bangers in
Yeah.
AEW.
Oh, I mean the Will Ospreay
Will
match was good.
Ospreay,
Yeah.
the trios match. Hey,
Yeah.
spoilers. You want me to do that too?
Yeah.
But I think that it was a good match. But once again, it's just like you got here and I was like, oh,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Again, this show was good.
You knew he wasn't going to win.
Yeah. Show was good. Not as good. I don't think this was as good as Wrestle Kingdom or Noah.
Okay, I'll go first,
Okay.
and I'll show you how I feel the gap is between this
Okay.
and that. The 7.5.
I a little bit higher than that. I gave it a 7.7. But yeah, I'm in the same boat as you.
I feel like it
Which
just
it's still a good score.
yeah, it was a good event, but it didn't come together like that. Like it was
Yeah, it
you
didn't feel as cohesive as the
it was
Noah show.
wavy. It was very
Yeah,
wavy. Like you go up and you're like, "Oh, okay, this
it was
match."
not as cohesive or as well put together. Like Noah was so cohesive, enjoyed right from beginning to end. Whereas New
Noah's
Japan
main
Wrestle,
event is like was special because
yeah,
it caught us off guard
hmm
of like where we were going. And by the way, just getting to watch four massive and high quality Japanese events
hmm
like to start this year off. I know technically Stardom was last
was
year,
last year. Yeah,
but it set the tone for me like remembering it. This happens every year and I recognize this is why I love wrestling. Then
yeah.
we're going to get into a stale period where it's just AEW and WWE the whole
Well,
time.
after this week, I think this is where we're gonna enter our stale period because all we got is Battle in the Valley, Genesis, and then Saturday night's main event, and then the Rumble, and then the New Beginning in Osaka.
And that's a long stretch, by the way.
Yeah, that's basically in a month from now, New Beginning. Literally a month from today.
Which by the way, I got ended up getting tickets to SmackDown.
Yeah, they're cheap, right?
They're not cheap, but they're like in comparison, like we got middle
hmm
low golds for like $200 for
Each.
SmackDown. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty
Where
good.
at for Elimination Chamber that on
Those are
that
the
Saturday,
that's the cheap seats.
the top farthest seats where you can barely see
hmm
like have a bad angle of the ring is $300 right now
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
in a double the size stadium.
Yeah. If I'm not working that Saturday, I may head to the SmackDown show as well. But yeah. Anyway, that was Wrestle Dynasty.
Wrestle Dynasty.
Wrestle
Dynasty.
Dynasty. Dynasty. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. Tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow is our first technically WWE event of the year. It is NXT. It is New Year's Evil. It has Julia versus Roxana Perez for the NXT Women's Championship. So tune in tomorrow for our review of that. Just gotta say once again, RIP to my cat De Niro. And in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.